The air hung heavy with the scent of aged wood and forgotten things. Dust motes danced in the pale light filtering through grime-coated windows. The shop was a labyrinth of towering shelves and shadowy corners, crammed with trinkets and treasures from bygone eras. Evelyn, a lover of all things antique, browsed the cluttered aisles, her fingers trailing over dusty surfaces. Her gaze fell upon a music box tucked away in a forgotten corner. Unlike the ornate, delicate boxes surrounding it, this one was hewn from dark, polished wood. The carvings were intricate, unsettling, a swirling tableau of tormented faces and skeletal figures frozen in eternal screams. Evelyn reached out, drawn to its macabre beauty. The wood was cool beneath her fingertips, and she traced the grotesque figures with a shiver. The shopkeeper, a stooped figure shrouded in shadows, materialized beside her. His voice, a dry rasp, startled her. "Interested in that one, are you?" A word of caution. Some things are best left undisturbed. His words did little to dampen Evelyn's curiosity. They only served to ignite it further. She purchased the box, her pulse quickening with a mixture of excitement and unease. Back in her apartment, Evelyn carefully placed the music box on her mantel. Its dark presence seemed to absorb the light, casting long, unsettling shadows across the room. The silence stretched, broken only by the ticking of the grandfather clock in the corner. It was a dare, a silent invitation she couldn't resist. With a deep breath, she wound the key. The mechanism whirred to life, the gears grinding against each other with an unsettling groan. Then the music began. The tune was haunting and beautiful, a melancholic waltz that seemed to weave its way around her, chilling her to the bone. As the notes swirled around her, the temperature in the room plummeted. A cold wind swept through the apartment, ruffling her hair and sending shivers down her spine. She tried to turn away, to break free from the music's eerie spell, but an unseen force held her captive. Her eyes remained fixed on the music box, her heart pounding in her chest. Then the visions began. They flickered at the edge of her vision at first, ghostly images that vanished as quickly as they appeared. A shadowy figure with eyes that burned like hot coals. A woman weeping, her face contorted in an expression of pure anguish, a swirling vortex of darkness beckoning her closer. The visions grew stronger, more vivid, until they consumed her entirely. She was no longer in her apartment, but transported to another time, another place. She found herself in a grand ballroom lit by flickering candlelight. The music was deafening now, a cacophony of sound that pounded against her skull. The room was filled with people, their faces twisted in grotesque masks of revelry. They danced with a frantic energy, their movements becoming increasingly erratic, desperate. Then the music stopped. Silence descended, thick and heavy. The revelers froze, their expressions hardening into masks of pure terror as a darkness began to spread from the corners of the room, consuming everything in its path. Evelyn tore herself away from the vision, gasping for breath. She stumbled back from the music box, her heart racing. The music had stopped, but the feeling of dread lingered, clinging to her like a shroud. She knew with a certainty that chilled her to the core that she had to get rid of the box. Evelyn returned to the antique shop, the music box a lead weight in her hands. The shopkeeper greeted her with a knowing look. "I tried to warn you," he rasped, his eyes gleaming in the dim light. "That box, it feeds on fear, on despair. It draws you in, then traps your soul within its melody." Evelyn demanded to know how to destroy it. The shopkeeper shook his head sadly. "It cannot be destroyed, only contained. You must send it back to where it came from, to the darkness." He pointed to a symbol etched on the bottom of the box, a spiral of strange runes. "That is the key," he whispered. "You must unlock its power, then cast it back into the abyss." Evelyn's attempts to unlock its power only intensified the haunting. The visions grew stronger, the music more insidious. She was losing herself, her soul slowly being consumed by the box's malignant energy. In the end, the box claimed her entirely. The music box played on, its haunting melody echoing through the empty apartment, a chilling testament to its enduring curse, waiting for the next soul to ensnare.